Hey, Matt here, and I want to talk to you about flipping houses today and whether it's worth it or not. And the big question is, how much money are you really going to make and what are the long-term impacts of flipping houses? So the first thing that you have to consider is you have to find the deal. So you have to go out, you have to connect with people, find a deal, maybe work with a realtor, and that is a job in itself. So you can work with a broker, communicate, you could look at places like Zillow, and find places that are opportunities to flip. Then the next thing you're going to have to deal with is the competition, because so many people are looking for deals that it can be tough and really hard to lock a deal in because there's so many people bidding on deals. So you're going to have to be really selective and make sure you do a good analysis of the property to make sure it's going to be profitable. So I think one of the biggest things is having your underwriting system down, and if you can find off-market deals, then that's going to be a huge component to creating success. But so that's what you got to do. You got to find deals that are going to work with the numbers. I think that's one of the biggest things that you got to do. So if you're looking for a deal and you've got one, you found the numbers, now you got to figure out what your rehab budget is, because you got to spend a lot of money to increase the value of the property. The goal of flipping a house is finding a deal where you can get a good price on the property that's probably undervalued, but then there's enough upside if you spend like $30,000 or $40,000 into the place. And depending on the size of the deal, it could be less or it could be even more. We've done house flips where we've spent $150,000, and I've also done house flips where I've spent maybe $15,000 to $18,000, and it just depends on what you're selling the house for. The one that we did $150,000 of improvements on, we sold it for like $425,000, and then the one that we put the $18,000 on, we bought it for like $90,000 and sold it for like $150,000. So you just got to make sure that all the numbers line up, and that's going to be the biggest key to being successful. And it can be really hard to find these types of deals because there's not a lot on the market and it's really, really competitive. So I think that's one of the biggest troubles of finding flips. And then the other issue with finding house flips is that once you buy it, renovate it, and sell it, you've kind of generated earned income. There's no write-offs on that profit. You have to pay taxes. So unlike multifamily property, which is what I invest into, you're going to be taxed differently if you're flipping houses. And it's a little bit more of a grind. If you're flipping houses, you're going to always have to find new deals. You're going to always have to keep a crew running. So if you're flipping many houses, you're going to have to keep your team continuously renovating, and you're going to have to keep finding deals to keep your team busy, versus if you have apartments and you can build apartments at scale and you're renovating them, then you could probably just keep renovating your units. That's kind of what I do, is I keep renovating apartment units and buying more apartment buildings with a ton of units, and that allows me to keep my team moving constantly because we have hundreds of units. We're not just flipping maybe 10 or 15 houses a year or one a month, something like that. So I think sustainably, investing in a multifamily property is going to be much more successful. But you just got to figure out what works for you. If you're just getting started investing into real estate, I think that multifamily is what you got to invest in to create the most success. So the moral of the story is house flipping is good if you want to generate income. You can make a lot of money flipping houses, but it's not the best strategy if you want to build long-term wealth. If you invest in the multifamily real estate, it's going to have much more reliability and sustainability investing into that asset class. So take all of your earned income from house flipping, use it as working capital to put down as down payments on multifamily property, and that's going to make you a lot more money in the future.